It has started cooling off here, so that means that I am able to bake more. So today I am making sourdough French bread, sourdough discard rolls, and then I am making some burgers. I thought it would be fun to bring you along for this scratch cooking day in the life, even though this was like a couple of days. But either way, okay, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about this first recipe. This first recipe is a sourdough French bread. I got this recipe from Taste of Home. It is so simple and so easy. So all you need is one package of active dry yeast, 1 3/4 cups of warm water, a half a cup of sourdough starter, 2 tablespoons of canola oil, 2 tablespoons of sugar, teaspoons of salt, 4 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. It has this cornstarch wash that you put on it before it goes into the oven, but we don't do that anymore. I used to, but we like it better without it. So that is pretty much it. Then you just treat it like a normal, regular, bread recipe. And these are so good. I was actually making this because I ran out of my sourdough bread, and I thought that I would make this instead, but it didn't last. Actually, no, I was able to use it for one day. I had some with my eggs one day, and then it was gone after that. So it does not last. Bread it typically just does not last long in my house. I have 2 kids that are like me that love bread. Rayleigh absolutely loves bread, and she is the reason why after I made the French bread, because she likes French bread, but her thing's the sourdough discard rolls. She absolutely loves those, and so I made those to surprise her. But I made this because I had run out of my sourdough and I needed a replacement. But I didn't have the time to actually make the bread, like the sourdough loaf, and so I just did this instead. Which I am wanting to start making bread. I just haven't had a chance yet. But yeah, so this recipe is super easy, super simple. And then the sourdough discard rolls I make so often once now that I have my sourdough starter back. It was a little bit of a bummer there for a little while because we make these so much, and because there's so many things that you can have them with. And then I will sometimes make, the Texas Roadhouse butter. Well, sometimes I'll do that with it. Well, anyways, for this recipe, you need 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast, 3/4 cups of warm water, a half a cup of sourdough discard, a quarter of a cup of sugar, a quarter of a cup butter melted and cooled, a half a teaspoon of salt, 2 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, and egg for egg wash. And it's super simple, and they are so good with anything you want to make them with. But that is pretty much the main thing that I will make because we just you can have them with anything. So that is something that I make pretty regularly around here. And here I am just feeding my sourdough starter because I had used a lot of it here lately, and so I need to try and like bulk it up because with me baking so much, I'm going to run out of it if I don't start bulking it up a little bit. But that is what I was doing there, and now I had to let the butter cool. If you're wondering why it was like a little bit of where I was making the rolls and then I went to feed my sourdough starter, I had to let the butter cool. So I was like, well, to kill time, I will just feed my sourdough starter. And now I'm just finishing up with the rolls. But let me know, do you do a lot of baking, and have you been doing a lot of baking? I absolutely love baking. It's one of my favorite things to do, but of course, when it's summertime, I don't do much of it at all, and it is starting to cool off. Now, it's not cooling off just yet, as far as like getting down, in the 60s and in the 50s, but it's in the lower 70s, and after it's been in the 90s, I can handle it. This summer has been really hot, and I have not been a fan. It has definitely felt a lot like Florida. And when you move from Florida because of the heat, and then you move somewhere that's not supposed to be that hot, and then it's been a very hot summer, it's like, okay, look, I'm I'm not liking this at all. But yeah, so anyways, but that is just a little bit of the baking that I have been doing. Again, once it like cools off for like, getting into fall and winter, I will be doing a whole lot more baking. But that is what they look like on the second rise when you're shaping them. And then I completely forgot to get them like a shot of them after they came out of the oven. That was the next day. Yeah, that was a fail on my part. So they look way better when they come out of the oven and they're still warm, but that was the next day. And now I am just making burgers. So on this night we were having Salisbury steak with mashed potatoes and gravy, and I wanted to go ahead and make the burgers ahead of time so that I would have them, and that was like one less step I had to do that night. And I didn't film the rest of it because it was later, and at night my my lighting is just not good. I need to figure that out because I would love to film like in the kitchen at night, but my lighting just is not good. So, and it gives off this yellowish glow, and I don't like that. So, anyways, but that is just me. That is a couple of meals that I have made. I know that the bread isn't really a meal, but it's a side or whatever. It's a filler or whatever. But yeah, so that's a little bit of what I've been doing in the kitchen. And let me know some of the things that you have been cooking in your kitchen the last couple of days. Let me know some meals that you have been making. And yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this video, enjoyed coming along with me for just a, day in the kitchen, just coming along while I am making bread and, cooking. And if you're new here, my name is Raylynn. I make homemaking videos. I talk about routines and cooking and baking, and I show all kind of homemaking things. I talk about plants. I absolutely love plants. So if that interests you, I also talk about God and the Bible and Bible study things. So if any of that interests you, I would love to have you stick around and subscribe to my channel. And let me know some ideas that you may have for videos. I would love to hear them in the comments below, because I'm filming every day, or at least trying to, so I run out of content ideas. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and Lord willing, I will see you on the next one.